Rejection hurts, whether it's relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a client, it stings in the moments. But I wanted to share with you guys why I no longer take it personally and how rejection can be God's redirection. Welcome to Life with Toya. If it's your first time here, I'm Toya, and if it's not, let's get into it. So, I just wanted to chit chat with you guys a little bit and share with you guys about how I went to a birthday dinner, and came out a business owner. So I was going to celebrate a friend's birthday at this restaurant in a nearby city that I had never been to before. So I was very excited to go. We get there, we talk with the manager, but before we went, we do what everyone else does. We go and we check the social media, see what it's talking about. Well, there were no posts within a few months, and I was like, is this place even still open? And so we pitched myself to this guy, and he was down with it, and I ended up going back for a meeting, ended up signing him as my first client, and things got the ball rolling. Okay. After a couple of months, I think the second month, the first month he had a little bit of awareness because there was someone speaking in his ear. Her content isn't good enough. What does she use? And then he pitched to me that I could use his digital camera. And I'm like, no, I can use my phone. There are movies filmed with iPhones. I have the iPhone 14, Anyway, coming back and forth, it just was not aligned. It got to a point where it wasn't really a peaceful situation. And whenever I would ask certain questions and try to reinforce my contracts that I neither here nor there, try to reinforce the contract, and he just wasn't going for it. So one morning I woke up, and the first thing I did was grab my phone, this has made me go into a habit of not grabbing my phone first thing in the morning. But immediately I grabbed my phone. It was about 5:55-ish, and he had sent me a text at like 3 something in the morning, basically saying, hey, the professional way to do that would have been to say, hey, I've decided to move into a different direction. He abruptly ended the contract, which was not in line with my contract. So I did let him know I will not be providing any more deliverables due to the lack of the 30-day notification or whatever, or what have you, girl. So in the text message, he was very dismissive. He was very disrespectful. He may have thought that he was helping, but he was pretty much saying that my work was poor quality and etc. And so I proceeded to let him know, because, I'm a data analyst. That is what I do. I have the numbers, I have the data, I have the stats that show that ever since I started managing your page, we have added well over 100 new followers in less than 2 months, right? So it's like the content that I'm creating is the people are communicating with it. They're engaging with it, so to speak. Well, anyway, this is why you have to be confident in who you are, because you will have people that will come to you and try to tell you that you're not good enough. You're not this, you're not that. And you have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and say, I am good enough. And my worth is not attached to how you respond or how you react or your actions, period. Because I am who I am, right? And that's not going to change. So when I got the text message, I kind of felt like it was coming because the invoice had not been paid. And I was getting to a point where I was going to be like, well, if you're not going to pay the invoice, I'm just not going to worry about it. But the way he ended it, I was just like, this was so not professional. Whatever. This happened about a little over a month ago. So I'm good now. And I'm actually glad, because this video was actually supposed to come out last Thursday. And I'm glad I waited, because there's more to the story. I thought the story was over with, but there's more to the story. How about he had the nerve, after he disrespected me on the way out, he had the nerve to come back and ask me to work on another campaign with him. But I had been watching his page because I was curious. I wanted to see, like, what did you feel about my work that was low quality, and who else is helping you, and how are they doing it? And one thing I know is when I look at a restaurant's page, I don't care about who's eating the food. I want to see the food. I want to see good pictures of the food. And the posts after it were pretty much photo shoots of someone eating the food or someone drinking the wine. And it's like, social media pages for restaurants, especially local ones, don't do that. But anyway, whatever floats your boat, if that's what you want, that's fine. It's your business. It's your page. Do what you will. So he came back maybe last week, and he sent a text and was like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you, and I was wondering if we could work together on a campaign." And I politely let him know. I was like, "Hey, this is an honor. Thank you so much for thinking about me. However, I was not expecting to hear from you, being that, my quality of work was not up to par. And I would like to respectfully decline this and all future offers of working with you. And, have a great day." I was really nice about it, right? Sometimes I actually think I was a little too nice, but I got the point across and I stood on my boundaries. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me and then circle back and me work with you as if nothing has happened. I'm not going to allow you another opportunity to disrespect me, period. And I hope you guys and girls are out there standing on business in the same manner. Because who would have thought he was going to come back, y'all? Who would have thought? And you know how the song goes? I think it's a song. You never miss your water till your well runs dry. Or maybe the other person that he picked that could only do photo shoots, which will cause him to keep wasting food. You can't afford to do a photo shoot every single day to post on your, it's just disposable money, disposable income or whatever. You don't have that kind of disposable income in that business. But anyway, but all of that to say, I'm not going to let someone downplay me and then circle back as if nothing happened. Right? That experience reminded me that rejection is not about me. It's actually about alignment. And for a little while, because like whenever I would see his name pop up on my phone, I'd be like, because I feel like what he needs is an in-house manager who also manages his social media. Because at this point, I'm a contract worker, not an employee. And I felt like he really didn't know the difference in that. And he would call me at all times of day and night and have these requests after the 48-hour period of me sending out the information and saying, here's the information. Do you like it? Yes or no? Is there any changes you want me to make? And you had 48 hours after I sent you that to say yes or no. He'd wait until the post go live and then he'd call like, "Hey, can you do?" It's like, I should have been the one to end the contract, but I held on to it because I was like, maybe I can make this work, and maybe I'm giving too much information, but I'm going to get to why I'm giving too much information anyway. So I want to tell you a little bit more about what I learned from that interaction and what it propelled me to do. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. Don't let someone either, rejecting you determine what your worth is. You should know what your worth is, and your worth does not change based on someone else. I understand that my work is good. Just because he decided to cut the contract does not mean that my work is not good. And even though you may or may not receive a confirmation, my confirmation was him circling back. Like, now you realize my work was good. Sometimes people reject you because they don't recognize your value yet. And some people may never recognize your value. It doesn't lessen your actual value. Okay? By standing firm, I proved that I did not need validation from the same people that try to tear me down. Old me would have been like, okay, let me get this money. And the crazy thing about it was I totally undervalued myself. And while I was working for him, I revamped my contract. He's not going to want to pay that. So when God closes one door, it's because there's room for better or there's better ahead. We can only go up from here. You know what I mean? By the way, I'm drinking an espresso martini from Cutwater. I just put it in a cute little glass. All right, son. 3 ways to handle rejection without spazzing out or crashing out, as the young kids say. So, first step, pause before you react. Take time to process. If you have to let them know, hey, I need a moment, I'll get back to you when I can. That is perfectly okay, and it is fine to take a moment before you do or say something that you will regret. It is easy to get emotional and send a petty text, cry or shut down. It's easy to do all of those things, but you would rather do those things by yourself on your own. Again, take a moment to breathe. Allow yourself to process what is happening before you respond. You do not want to react, you want to respond. And also make sure that you understand that you do not ever have to respond right away. Take as much time as you need. Number 2, reframe the narrative. Instead of asking what is wrong with me, ask what is this protecting me from? Now, I'm not really big on being public about my religion. And I understand that there are people who believe in different entities, or not entities. Is it an entity? people who believe in different entities, such as, Buddha, the universe, God, whatever it is that you believe in. I believe in God, but whatever it is that you believe in, just understand that there are angels or whatever you believe in that are protecting you on the behalf of whatever it is you believe in. I try not to get into that because it could be a touchy subject. Politics and religion, I steer away from. However, in this topic, just rejection could be redirection to something better, whatever it is that you believe in. And it's crazy because if there is a misalignment and you know it and you try to hold on to it, something will happen for it to be removed from your life. And this was a perfect example of that. I've had a few things removed, and maybe we'll talk about them in later videos. However, it is what it is. And the thing is, it's like life is life. Bad things happen, good things happen. So we just move in the direction, allow ourselves time to grieve, and keep trucking forward. Because shifting your perspective changes the emotional weight behind it. And last but not least, number 3, stand firm in your value. I'm going to say it again. Stand firm in your value. Okay? Don't let these play in your face. Don't let these people play in your face. Okay? Don't backtrack or shrink just because someone comes back around, no matter how bad it was you wanted them, because you teach people how to treat you. And if you will allow them, like for instance, had I let that slide or had not addressed it and I decided to circle back and work for said client, he could be disrespectful again. And no amount of money is going to allow me to sit here and just tolerate that. Disrespectful of my time, disrespectful of my craft. You don't appreciate it. So why would I spend time giving you the things that you don't appreciate or respect in that manner? Remember who you are and what you bring to the table, because whatever it is that you bring to the table is of value. It is valuable, no matter what someone tries to say to you or tell you, because if it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't want it in the first place, especially the ones who circle back. If I had said yes because they circled back, I would be teaching myself to accept disrespect. And that's one of the things I'm really unlearning. And me saying no to working on another contract with them is actually a sign of my growth. Rejection does not mean that you're not good enough. It just means that there is something better for you. The next time that happens, remember to pause, take a breath, reframe, and stand firm. This is how you keep from crashing out when people reject you. So have you ever had a rejection turn into redirection? If so, drop your story in the comments because I would love to hear it. If you like this kind of content, please make sure you hit that like button so that the algorithm can push it out to other people that would love to receive this information. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell the next time I drop a video so you don't miss out. So until next time, enjoy life with Toya.